With every single leap that AI takes, there's this one question that just keeps popping up in pretty much every technical field, right? Is my job on the line? Well, today, we're going to zoom in on one of the most debated areas of all, software testing.
So let's just ask it outright. Is this the end of the human tester? Can a piece of software, an algorithm, really take over the nuanced, critical work that a person does? Well, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. And to really get why, we have to start with one of AI's fundamental limitations.
So, to see where we're headed, we first need to get a handle on a huge limitation in AI as it exists today. And it really all comes down to how it deals with a request. Okay, imagine a client gives you this instruction. Just make the page load faster. Seems simple enough, doesn't it? But hidden inside that one little sentence is this massive gap that separates artificial intelligence from actual human understanding. Just look at how differently they tackle this. An AI is a precision instrument. It needs super specific instructions to do anything. You've got to tell it exactly what to measure and what the finish line looks like. But a human? Oh, they're totally different. They immediately start asking questions, digging for context, trying to figure out the why behind the request. Hey, who's this for? What are we really trying to do here? You see, it's not just a better way of processing the request, it's a completely different kind of thinking.
And that's really the heart of it right there. AI is brilliant at following instructions. It's a rule-following machine, but it can't guess the unstated needs, the hidden context, or the real goal that's driving a project. And that ability to understand intent, that's where the human advantage really kicks in.
So if an AI is stuck inside the box of a prompt, what are those uniquely human skills that make testers so essential? Let's call them what they are: human superpowers.
We're talking about curiosity, judgment, and empathy. These aren't things you can code into a script or feed into a prompt. They are fundamentally human, and they are the bedrock of what makes a great tester. Let's dig into that first one, curiosity. All right, superpower number one, curiosity. An AI can run a million predefined tests and it'll do it perfectly, but it's never going to ask, what if I do something weird? It's not going to wonder what happens if a user on a really shaky network connection tries to buy something. Or what if someone puts an emoji in a name field that's only expecting letters? That's called exploratory testing, and it's the art of going off script to find the bugs that nobody even thought to look for.
Okay, next up, we have judgment. Now, this is about weighing complex, often kind of abstract risks. Asking, does this new feature have a potential privacy problem? Could this update accidentally open up a security hole we haven't thought about? And this is a big one. When something does go wrong, who is accountable? An AI can't take responsibility. A human has to be the one to stand behind the product, to manage those risks.
And finally, there's empathy. An AI can analyze data all day long, but it can't understand a feeling. When a real user says a form feels confusing or an app is just frustrating, an AI just sees random words. A human, though, we see a critical clue. We can empathize with that person, translate that vague feeling into a real design problem, and then go find a solution.
Now, beyond these superpowers, there's another absolutely crucial human advantage. One that's perfectly built for the way that tech world works today, our ability to adapt on the fly.
The world of software development moves incredibly fast. I mean, a product can launch, get a flood of urgent feedback, and then have to completely change direction, all in just a few months. This kind of constant change is a huge, huge problem for rigid systems.
So think about it. What happens when the whole company strategy changes? An entire suite of AI tests can become useless overnight. You have to retrain it, reprompt it. That costs a ton of time and money. But a human tester? They can sit in one meeting, hear about the new plan, and immediately change their focus. They can redesign their whole testing approach in an afternoon, using their judgment to focus on what matters right now.
So, if AI isn't going to replace the human tester, what is its role? Well, this brings us to what I think is the new reality of software development, a really powerful partnership.
I absolutely love this metaphor. Think of AI as the accelerator pedal in a car. It gives you all the speed, power, and efficiency you could want. But the human,
the human is the driver. They're holding the steering wheel, they're reading the map, and they're the one who decides where you're all going. They are in control of the strategy. And in this partnership, the roles become super clear. Humans get to drive the strategy, the creativity, the critical thinking, handling the exploratory testing, the risk analysis, figuring out what user feedback actually means. And the AI? It becomes this absolute powerhouse for all the repetitive, high-volume stuff, like creating mountains of test data, sifting through logs, or comparing thousands of screenshots to spot tiny visual bugs. And this is the new reality. AI isn't here to replace the human tester. It's here to free them from all the boring, repetitive work. It literally elevates their role, letting them focus completely on the high-value, strategic stuff that only a human brain can do. The job isn't disappearing. If anything, it's becoming more critical than ever.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As AI gets better and better at doing the how to run a test, how to process data, how to check for an error, maybe the most valuable human skill we have left is the one thing AI can't do, having the curiosity, the judgment, and the empathy to constantly, always ask why.